Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Christina, and this is Life of Wine and Books. It has been quite a while since I've updated, and I feel like I wanted to come on, talk, do a mini weekend vlog, kind of talk about where I've been and why I haven't been updating. So let's start with where have I been? I've been here, obviously, but I haven't been updating, and the reason why is kind of dumb, but it also makes sense. So I got a new phone back in the fall. And when I film on my phone, and when I try to export the material, the content, it doesn't export in order. And that's been very annoying and very overwhelming for me. And I don't have a solution, but I'm going to see if I can find one. And so that's really why I haven't been updating and vlogging, even though I really do love to vlog. It's the editing process that I'm not as big of a fan of. My forehead's really shiny. I'm a mess, guys. So that's been a lot of where I am, or where I've been and why I haven't been updating. The other thing I wanted to talk about is like a possible shift in my content. Not huge. Books is still going to be like the bulk of what I do, but I've been watching Cozy K and Haley in Bookland. Haley in Bookland was the first booktuber I really got into, and I love her videos. Her videos are so good. She's been doing the booktube videos and everything, but then she's also just been doing, cozy lifestyle videos and everything, and kind of mixing the books in, and I really like that. So I think I'm going to shift a little bit. Like I said, I'm still reading a ton, but shift to also do just lifestyle-ish. Not that my life is super amazing and impressive, and I'm really not selling this well at all, but kind of talk about the crafts I've been doing. I've been trying to find a balance a little bit with hobbies and crafting and everything, and doing the reading. I'm still reading a lot, but also doing just fun hobbies that have really caught my interest. I have some diamond art painting that I've been doing. Started cross-stitching again, which has been great. My husband and I watch TV every night, and while we watch, I just cross-stitch. It's something great that I can do while watching TV, because I don't do really complex patterns. And so, yeah, I kind of just wanted to do a little bit of that. So that's where I've been. That's what I'm thinking this channel is going to move towards. And today is Friday. My new job starts on Tuesday, which is insane. It has taken months and months and months and months to get this taken care of. I literally had my interview in October, and it's mid-February. So it's been 4 months of just waiting and paperwork, and submit the paperwork, and then wait a month, and then submit more paperwork, and then wait another month. And it's been this whole thing. But I'm super excited to start. I'll be an adjunct professor at a local community college doing all virtual learning in their job readiness program. So I'll be helping people who are struggling, and social services has referred them to this community college to take this 4-week class that I'll be teaching on interview skills and how to write an email and cover letters and resumes. But then there's all this other content. There's financial literacy stuff that I can cover, mindfulness, wellness, setting goals, achieving goals, building a reference list, stuff like that. I'm so excited to do this. It's going to be so much fun. And I feel like it's going to be very rewarding and fulfilling, which I was not getting. For those who don't know, I had been a middle school teacher in the public school system for 10 years. And with middle school, it's kind of like dog years, where it seems even longer. I always used to tell my students that nobody really looks back at their middle school years and goes, wow, those are the best 3 years of my life. It sucked. It sucked for everybody. It sucked for everybody. So that starts on Tuesday. I would be working Monday through Thursday, except the first day of the session, the first Monday of the session, the students have to go into the campus and register and get everything set up. I don't do any of that. That's my boss and the case managers and everything. So I get that Monday off. So like once a month, I also get a Monday off in addition to a Friday, along with like holidays and everything. So I'm excited. So yeah, what else is going on this weekend? It's supposed to snow, which has me nervous because tomorrow I'm supposed to go see Kate Quinn and Jamie Chang at a author event nearby to discuss their new book, Phoenix Crown. So yeah, I can bring other books. Like you can buy books there to get signed, or you can like bring a book from home, but you get like one book per author from home. I think I have to look at the email. So then I have to make a decision. I met Kate Quinn many years ago and got Mistress of Rome signed. I'm thinking I'm going to do The Huntress. I'm really thinking The Huntress. That one is my favorite. Close second is Alice Network. Very, very close second. But I like The Huntress just a little bit more than, I think, Diamond Eye than Rose Code. In terms of like her 4 World War II books. Then the Mistress of Rome series. I've read the first 2 years ago. I forgot what happened, so I started over again. That's one of my reading goals for the year. And then the Borgia Chronicles, which is a duology. That's my least favorite books by her, but they're still good. Still good. So yeah, that is a very long update just to tell you where I've been, what's been going on in my life. I'm sorry, I have Netflix scrolling through on here and I couldn't figure out what it was, and it's a Legend of Korra. I'll definitely be talking about Avatar, probably not in this vlog though, but the new Airbender show comes out soon, and my husband and I are rewatching everything well, not everything. We're rewatching the Airbender show. Korra was not a fan. So yeah, let's get comfortable. I'm in my bedroom. I have a glass of wine back there on that mess. Water bottle, wine. I have 2 wine glasses there. I have a dirty one too, because I usually like will have a glass of wine after dinner and not finish it like as I'm watching TV and bring it up to bed, and I'll finish it while I'm sitting in bed reading. I am going to hop into bed. I'm gonna sit right here, my big comfy pillow, and I'll tell you a little bit about what I am reading. All right, let's talk a little bit about what I am reading. I have 2 books that I am reading. The first is The Marriageact by John Marrs. I took the dust jacket off. This is his latest book, and it is set in a world where it's in England, and like there's all of these incentives for people to get married and to stay married, and like not only incentives for them to get married and stay married, but like then for people who are widowed or divorced or ace or whatever, there's kind of not really punishments, but like sanctions almost, I guess. I haven't gotten that far into it to encourage them to get married. And John Marrs is a very, not hit or miss. I absolutely loved What Lies Between Us. That one is so messed up and so wild. If you're looking for a great thriller and you haven't read it, that got me out of a reading slump that had been going on for weeks. I loved The One. The Passengers was good. I did unhaul it because it wasn't like super speaking to me. Good Samaritan was okay. I feel like I'm missing one. Am I missing one? Might be missing one. But The Marriageact is set in the same universe as The One and The Passengers. It's set about a year after The Passengers because they have referenced it and the events in The Passengers. And then it is set in the early stages of what happens in The One. Like with that, for those who don't know, The One is about take like a DNA test to find like your one true soulmate type of thing. And so then this is like talking about how like that's a thing now, like it exists, but it's not like widespread. So I think that's really interesting because it is set in those worlds, but this is obviously a very recent release. While The One and The Passengers have been out for a while, The One has even been adapted. It's on Netflix. I've never seen it. I think it's on Netflix. I'm only about 50 pages in. I'm enjoying it a lot. It is, so far it's just setting the stage, kind of like The One and The Passengers. It has probably 5, 6, 7 different characters and very short chapters, and you're kind of switching between them all, and they all have very different experiences. How this society works is you can sign up for, it's like Marriage Plus or something like that. Let me check. Pause for a moment. Let me see. It's definitely, they have these like advertisements in the book. One moment. Smart marriages. And then you have, let me see if I can get this, like these little like leaflets and stuff, like a mixed media element. And I don't know if y'all know this, but mixed media is my favorite thing. I go bonkers for it. Like if a book is mixed media, it's automatically like a higher rating. I love it. So it's called a smart marriage though. And you have a device like your Echo, like your Google Nest, like your one that's related to Apple. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to set off everybody's devices. We just call ours the Echo when we don't want to set it off. But it's like this device, and you can like sign up for it, and then you get like these even more benefits added to, like you get National Health Services. Is that what it's called? NHS. I'm American. Our health system's crap. I don't know a lot about the British healthcare system. So you get like access to like faster appointments, and you can get like subsidized housing and all of this cool stuff if you sign up for like this smart marriage. And what it does is it randomly listens to 10 minutes of conversation between you and your spouse every day, and it just like kind of like drops in type of thing. And like you can tell because like a red ring appears on the top, just kind of like an echo when it's malfunctioning and stuff, and it then analyzes it. And if you're determined, then there's like these 3 different levels, and it can determine if like your marriage is strong or in distress. And then like the first level, you get like these push alerts on your phone and on your smartwatch. And then the second, like telling you like how to have a happy marriage. And then the second step is like someone comes and like stays with you or something, who's like a marriage counselor and like gives you counseling. And then the third step, you go to like family court and they determine if your marriage is viable, which is insane. But it's like also there's this one married couple, and they're the wife's sister and brother-in-law are visiting, and the brother-in-law makes a joke like the wife prepared like this big huge spread and food, and it like all looked delicious, and the brother-in-law goes, "Wow, I guess I married the wrong sister then." And then he goes, and he kind of looks down at his smartwatch, and he goes, "Of course, that's just a joke." And it was just very interesting, like it was very interesting, just stuff like that. Like it doesn't take into account sarcastic, because I have a very sarcastic sense of humor. So that's the first book I'm reading. A very long update. God, this clip is 9 minutes. That's gonna suck. The next book I'm reading is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Poston? It's Poston. I read Dead Romantics. I did the audiobook, and I was shocked because I loved it more than I ever thought I would. So this book is about a woman named Clementine, and her aunt has died and left her apartment in New York. So she moves in, but finds out that there's this guy living there, that there's this guy like subletting it, but he's actually like stuck 7 years in the past, kind of like the lake house type of thing. And then they start falling in love with each other. And something that's not on the blurb in the back, but that I heard from Riley Marie's video, because she just read this and that's what inspired me to read it, even though I already owned it, just been sitting around, was that then she runs into this guy again, like in the present, and he's very different. So she's seeing this one version of him at her apartment, and this other version of him out in like the real world. And that's about, I'm not that far in either book. I'm about 40 or 50 pages. I'm page 43. I started both of these today, of The 7-Year Slip, and page 40 what am I, 42? 52 of The Marriage Act. So my goal for today is to do some reading on that. I have some back stitching I have to do on my latest cross stitch project. I'm hoping to maybe get that done this weekend. I have to see, because like I said, tomorrow I'm also driving. It's about an hour drive, and we're supposed to get some snow, so I might have to leave like super early. It's at 4. I might leave at like 2, because doors open at 3:30, and I want to be there right when doors open so I can get a good seat. But yeah, that is what I'm reading. That is a life update, all of that good stuff. I'm gonna get some reading done. I think I'm gonna turn on, I was watching Escaping Twin Flames, I think that's what it is, downstairs, and I decided to move upstairs. Some people watch, like funny sitcoms and stuff when they're like you know, as background noise, you know, Golden Girls or Schitt's Creek or something, I watch docuseries on cults. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen Shiny Happy People or Keep Sweet, Pray and Obey. My latest two biggies have been Escaping from Twin Flames on Netflix and Love Has Won on Discovery or HBO Max. This clip has been way long enough, but right now I am going to turn on Escape from Twin Flames, have a sip of wine, and get some reading done. I'll come back at you with an update. Back in bed, a little bit of a reading update. I've read about 23 pages of, or 20 something like that, pages of The Marriage Act, and what I like about John Mars's books that are set in this like not really dystopian, but this like alternate reality almost, is that he does an info dump, and it can be overwhelming, and I can see people not liking it because you kind of don't really know what's going on, and then you get these little snippets of information here or there. So here's what I have figured out so far. One, when you sign, I don't think you have to sign this Marriage Act thing. Like you can, like I said, you can volunteer to do it, but they provide these marriage counselors, marriage responders. One sec, they just had a little thing about it in here. A minute. Relationship responder. That's what it's called. If they come like the level 2 that I talked about, and if you don't let them in, they can like come back with the police. 2, if your spouse gets some sort of like mental disorder, like Alzheimer's or dementia or something, then when you sign up for the Marriage Act, you basically give the government the right to like institutionalize your spouse. You get divorced from them, and then you're expected to find a new spouse. And there was something else. What was the other thing that I wanted to talk about? The relationship responder can like move into your house, which is just wild. I'm trying to remember the other thing. Hold on. It was something that I just read. Oh, that like in the divorce, like if you do make it to like level 3 and you are divorced, like you can be punished if you're found to be the reason that the divorce happened. And that's based on basically this relationship responder's reports that they write up about you and all of the data that's collected. And it's just crazy. You have this one character in this book named Roxy, and I don't like her. I don't think you're supposed to like her, but I'm very intrigued by her. She has been trying to become an influencer. And so she got jealous because her 12-year-old daughter had more followers online than she did. So instead of like being a parent and being like, okay, no more, I don't think social media is good for you, she contacted like Instagram, Snapchat, and it's like another one that her daughter was on, and was like, yo, this kid's under 13. That's a violation of your terms of service. And the apps shut her down and everything. And the mom's like, what? Oh my God, that's terrible. Even though she was the one who did it. So you have this other character named Jem, and she unalives herself very quickly in the book. And it's kind of like dealing with the aftermath. And she had been like pushed by trolls and everything to do that because she was for the Sanctity of Marriage Act. And so Roxy sees this like vacuum that she can in social media, because Jem was like a super, super popular influencer, and is like, I'm going to step into that role. And even if she doesn't like believe everything that she's saying, she's parroting it back because she wants to become a popular influencer. And that's the only reason she's doing what she's doing, which I think is a very interesting component of the book. So yeah, I just wanted to jump on and talk about those before I forgot, because as you can see, I was already forgetting things that I read, which is pretty par for the course for me. And to get more reading done, I'm going to jump back on probably when I read another 40 or so pages and give you like a fuller, more complete update on my thoughts so far. What the fuck? What? John Mars is known for like plot twists and all of this. I'm on page 98, 99. page 99. And he, what? What? I don't even know how to process it. I'm not, this is going to be a spoiler-free vlog, so I'm not going to go into it, but wow. I don't know. I don't really know what happened. I don't know how certain things happen. I'm hoping I get answers. I just needed to come on and tell you that y'all, the plot twist that was twisted was one I did not see coming. I am loving the marriage act so far. There's a lot of characters, and it's really hard for me to keep everybody straight, but I'm starting to get it, and I'm hoping that they start to come together at some point. It's like a 400-page book, so probably not for a minute, but if you read this book, that page 100, if you know, you know. That's all I gotta say right now. I thought there was something else. Oh, just a quick comment. So they have these Audite machines that I said are like Echoes and Google Nest or Google Home, whatever they are. Like any of the virtual home assistants that you have. And like they listen to your conversation. And there's been several instances now where like a married couple will be having a conversation, and it's a passionate conversation. I wouldn't necessarily call it a fight. It's a disagreement. And they stop and then start like parroting back these like phrases that they get sent to their little smartwatches to like end the fight, end the disagreement. And I'm like, if you're just parroting what you are told to parrot, like how genuine is this? Are you're just saying what needs to be said so that you don't get in trouble? And yes, it's preventing fights and disagreements. It's ending disagreements, but has the conflict actually been resolved? I do think, I know that, you know, I've been married, it'll be 2.5 years in April. And before that, my husband and I have been together for 6.5 years. So we were together for a little over 4 years before we before we got married. We were dated for 3, engaged for 1, then married. And like we were what I would like to consider pretty strong communication skills, but there are times where we still fight and we disagree. It's normal. So to stop that, like if it's an excessive thing, then like there's a problem. But to just shut it down. I don't know. I can't wait to discuss this. My husband's not reading it, but I'm going to tell him all about it, and he's going to have to hear me go on and on and on about this book. And then I'm interested to see what he has to say. But I just had to jump on here because that plot twist. To quote Quicksilver in Age of Ultron, you didn't see that coming? I did not see that coming. We are back upstairs. My hair is a mess. My nose is all stuffy. It's a grand old time. And I didn't do any reading, but I got an email and I want to look at with everybody. So a while ago, I signed up for something called Taylor Book Recommendations, or my TBR. And I saw Jack Edwards do it, and I mean, Jack Edwards is like the end all be all in terms of a lot of booktube stuff and everything. He reads a lot more literary books than I do, but I still really enjoy his content a lot. I got my pigeon, it's like a pigeon thing, that's what they call it, who gives me my recommendations. Basically, you fill out like all these detailed questions, and you can go in, and it's a quarterly thing, and you answer these all these questions. You can go through and change it, put books you like, books you don't like, tropes you don't like, any trigger warnings that you don't like, and then they give you like a curated list of 3 books. And I've been doing this for a while now, but I got my TBR recs, and I thought, what better way than to read through them together? In the past, I've gotten some really good books, I've gotten some really bad books, but in the defense of my curator book person thing, the one I got that was like so bad, it sounded like something I would like. It was like a Veronica Speedwell type of book. I love Veronica Speedwell, but I hated it. let's see what we got. All right, it says your TBR is here. Your bibliologist, that is a word, has searched the shelves and selected 3 awesome new additions to your TBR. Open your letter and let's get ready to get reading. That is a sentence. Okay. Hi, Christina. It's TBR time. I hope you found plenty of time to sit down with a good book or 2 lately. For your recommendations today, I've rounded up a nonfiction book about the NXIVM cult. Ooh, I love a good cult. A historical fairy tale retelling, and a contemporary YA dystopian story. Interesting. Okay. The first one is Don't Call It a Cult by Sarah Berman. Since you've been on a culty nonfiction kick lately, that is an understatement. This year I've read a book about the Manson family, David Koresh. I think I read like 1 or 2 others. I don't remember. My first pick for you is this deep dive into NXIVM's rise and recent fall. I thought it fell a while ago. Was it still going? I don't know. Written by a journalist, this book uncovers the shocking history of abuse and exploitation that went on for decades, all to benefit the group's wealthy founder and leaders. Similar to the various Scientology books on your Goodreads. There's so many Scientology books on my Goodreads. It's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. My mom actually was like, you need to stop with this. Like, this is the problem. This one takes on a powerful and well-connected group and peels back the hidden truths buried in plain sight. Okay, so it's not a memoir. I'm intrigued by that because a lot of the cult books I read are memoirs. Next, I have Every Rising Sun by Jamelia Ahmed. Never heard of this. Next up is an adult fantasy that reimagines a classic tale from 1001 Nights. I just read last month. Oh my god, hold on. I can't. Wrath and by Renee Ahdieh. The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh, which kind of romantic-y retelling of 1001 Nights, and I thought it was so good. I finished it and ordered the sequel immediately. It's a duology. I think you'll enjoy this historical Persian setting, and exploring a different type of fairy tale. Scheherazade, a minor character in the original story, takes center stage in this reimagining. Newly married to the emperor, a man who kills his wife at the end of every night, the only reason Scheherazade is still alive is her gift for storytelling. By telling the emperor a new story every night, he puts off her execution another day. But with war brewing and whispers of a revolt spreading, Scheherazade is in deeper than even she knows. It sounds very similar to The Wrath of the Dawn, but it sounds really good. And finally, Survive the Dome. Why does that sound familiar? That sounds familiar. By Kosoko Jackson. Since you're a fan of dystopian tales, same here, I knew I had to recommend this eerily realistic YA novel with its fast pace and standout characters. Jamal, a student with goals of becoming a journalist, attends a protest against police brutality in nearby Baltimore. I love that. I live in Maryland, so books set in Baltimore and Washington, D.C. area I always enjoy. But when the city's government utilizes a radical new technology known as the Dome, Jamal and the rest of the protesters are trapped inside the city with the police. Now Jamal and the friends he meets must survive this so-called safety measure and escape the city. Oh my god, that sounds awesome. You have the social commentary, because I've also read, this year I read How It Went Down. There was another one I just read. I read, oh my god, what's it called? Let Me Hear a Rhyme. And both of those deal with crime and murders against African-American young men. And then I have This Is My America, which is on my TBR for the month still. So, and I also read Mirror Girls. I just finished Mirror Girls, and House of Eve, which also has like a very much social commentary. with the African American experience. So I am loving that. So yeah, that is my update. Looks like I have some Amazon shopping to do. And I will probably give you an update in the morning. We're supposed to get some snow, so we'll see what happens. But I will see you all in the morning. Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday morning, and as you saw, we got some snow. It didn't stick to the streets, which is really good because, like I said, I am going somewhere today. Most of it, I'm standing like in our library right now. It looks like it's almost all entirely melted off of the deck. It'll probably stick to the grass for a little bit longer. I have done about 88 pages of reading so far. I did 40 some of, I almost said The Dead Romantics, The 7-Year Slip, and about 40 of The Marriage Act, and I am thoroughly enjoying both of them still. 7-Year Slip is starting to pick up a little bit. I think I'm about the 50% mark. And you have Clementine and this love interest, and the dynamic is definitely changing now. And what I really thought was interesting was, my big thing was, okay, if Clementine goes into this apartment that is now existing 7 years in the past, and she got her cell phone out, like, would her cell phone have, like, Facebook and Instagram posts from 7 years ago, or from, like, now? And I was wondering about that, and it kind of answered that by saying, like, the cell phone didn't work, because she was like, my aunt never paid for Wi-Fi, so there's no Wi-Fi, and there's not a really good signal in the apartment, so she couldn't really get on her phone. So I thought that was really interesting, and I really enjoyed that Ashley Poston kind of thought of that, because I'm sure that would have been a loophole that drove a few people insane, myself included. In terms of The Marriage Act, it's a wild ride. It is definitely not as fast-paced as The Passengers, but it is in the same vein as The One, which is one of my favorite books ever. It's also starting to have components similar to Masterclass by Christina Dalcher. If you have not read that book, that is an amazing book, and I highly recommend it. In terms of the education system and students who might need a little bit more support and how that can be gone about. And it's very interesting. I don't know if John Mars is kind of setting the stage for future books, or if that's something that's going to be reconciled and kind of wrapped up in this book. So I'm interested to see where that goes as well. In terms of plans for the day, I have the oven preheating. I'm going to make some cinnamon rolls, just like the Pillsbury tube ones. I bought a pack of them from Sam's Club. The event I'm going to is at 4 o'clock. It's about 45 minutes away. Doors open at 3:30. And I think I'm going to leave a little bit after 2 just to play it safe in terms of the roads, because it is a little further north than me, so the roads there might have gotten like a little bit more snow there. And also it's on a community college campus, and I don't really know where I'm going. Like, it just, I'm going to have to figure it out and all of that. I don't think I'll have to worry about parking or anything because it is the weekend. So I want to make sure I have enough time for all of that. I do want to get as much of the reading that I want to get done for the day before that, but I'll probably bring my books with me, and I'll start an audiobook in the car, but I'll talk about that closer to when I leave. In the meantime, I'm going to wait for the oven to preheat so I can put my cinnamon buns in and do some more reading. It is a little while later. My hair is a little bit of a mess still. It's all these baby hairs. I have something to take care of it. But I am dressed, and I am about to head out the door to go to this Kate Quinn Janie Chang event. I wanted to show you all the books I'm bringing because it feels a little over the top. Alright, so this is all the books I'm bringing. I have my 2 current reads, The 7-Year Slip and The Marriage Act. I think I'm going to focus mostly on The Marriage Act if I get there early. But I do have The 7-Year Slip. I have 70 pages left in this, so I'm going to really try to finish this tonight, actually, even though I just started it yesterday, so I can start Phoenix Crown, which is the book Janie Chang and Kate Quinn are going to talk about today. So I have both of these, and then I have, you can bring 2 books. I don't know if it was 2 books, or 1 book per author, or 1 book total to get signed. And so there was a lot of back and forth, but I decided to go with The Huntress by Kate Quinn, which is my favorite Kate Quinn. because I already have Mistress of Rome signed. I got that many years ago when the first Borgia Chronicles book came out. And then I have the Porcelain Moon, which is the only Janie Chang book I own. So these are the two that I'm going to get signed, in addition to Phoenix Crown, which is the one that came out this past Tuesday. So in total, I have 4 books to bring in this bag here. There's a pile of laundry right behind it, to go get signed. So I'm going to put these in some sleeves and hit the road.
Who in the ordinary course of life would never even have crossed paths, much less become friends. These 2 women are Gemma, a silver-voiced opera singer, newly come from New York City to San Francisco, looking to turn over a new leaf and hopefully a new phase in her career, and Su Ling, a talented Chinatown seamstress who is desperately looking to get out of an arranged marriage, and as soon as possible. These 2 women are destined to cross paths and ultimately change each other's lives in the chaos and the fires following the 1906 San Francisco earthquake.
I've always wanted to do a car update, and I have never had a mounted bracket thing. Well, I did, but it broke and it was really crappy. So I just got a new one like a week ago, and my hair's just, okay, I feel like every clip now just gonna be, my hair is a mess. That's how we're gonna start. I just finished up at the Kate Quinn Janie Chang event, and I had such a good time. Oh my gosh. First of all, Kate Quinn is just the most delightful person ever. She's so funny and she's so sweet. Janie Chang is so nice. They really complimented each other really well. You could tell they've been doing these tours. They're doing like 7 cities in 7 days, and they kind of have this rhythm down now where it's like it's not scripted, but it's like one person says something and then they'll just look to the next person who picks it up and keeps going, like they know who says what and all of that. I thought it was really interesting. Let me talk about the book. So I have a stack of books here. What a shock. The first 2 books I have are 2 that I had at home. I have The Huntress and Porcelain Moon. I got both of these signed. You can get 1 book other than the Phoenix Crown. Phoenix Crown came signed and they just personalized it. So I have The Huntress, and I have 3 technically Kate Quinn books signed. And I have The Porcelain Moon, which I read last month, which is set in World War I. It was really good. Then I have Phoenix Crown, which is their book. First of all, this cover is stunning. And this is a book about set in San Francisco in 1906. Yes, with the backdrop of the San Francisco earthquake. And they have this thing called a phoenix crown, which is what empresses would wear, like Chinese empresses would wear on their head. And like as the crown, obviously they'd wear it on their head. So it's that it disappears after the fires and the earthquake and everything. And so you have Gemma, who is an opera singer, and Su Ling, who is, I think she's an embroiderer. And it's that, and it deals with Chinese antiquities, which is really cool because that's also dealt with in Porcelain Moon. And I'm so excited. So I'm going to rush through, I almost said the Marriage Act, and I almost said Dead Romantics. Apparently I can't remember what I'm reading. I can remember other books by the authors. The 7 Year Slip. So I can start this today, and I think I'm going to drag this vlog into Tuesday. I'm supposed to end tomorrow or Monday, so I think I'm going to drag it into Tuesday so I can finish this as well and give you my thoughts on this. While there, I bought, first of all, I want to shout out the bookstore that sponsored it. It's called A Likely Story Bookstore. It's in Sykesville, Maryland. And so here's information about them. I've never been, but thinking a field trip is in my future. I did buy Dragon Springs and 3 Souls by Janie Chang while I was there. First of all, I love the green on this cover. I just love these covers in general. This one, about a woman when she dies, she's like looking back at her life or something with like these 3 spirits that are helping her. And then in this one, it's a woman who is biracial in China in 1908 in Shanghai. Both sound really good. I am working on diversifying not just my reading, but my historical fiction in general. And I think that this is going to help with that because I love historical fiction. I taught history for 10 years, but a lot of it is like white Eurocentric, and I'm trying to get away from that. So if you have suggestions for books that would help with that, please comment down below. In the meantime, on my way here and on my way home, I was listening to Nickel and Dimed, which is one of my book club books for the month, and my mom suggested it, and she's like, I don't like it, because she thought it would be something different. My neighbor's in the book club, she's like, I don't really like it, and I'm not really liking it either. It's this woman who is like, she's trying to see how people who work minimum wage jobs get by, but she's put all these like stipulations in place on how she's going to do this experiment in terms of like working these minimum wage jobs, and it just doesn't feel like she's getting a truly authentic experience, because she's like renting a house, like a property and everything to live at, but then she's also like going home and doing this stuff, and it doesn't feel truly authentic. I keep thinking back to the guy that did Super Size Me. He and his girlfriend at the time, I don't know if they were married, I think they did eventually get married, did one where they did 30 days on minimum wage, and I remember that was like a true immersive experience, and I just feel like that's not what I'm getting from this. And she just seems like kind of pretentious and full of herself as well. So we'll see how it goes. I'm determined to finish it. It's about a 45-minute drive home, so I have plenty of time to listen to it. I'm listening to it at like 2.5 speed, so I will absolutely be able to finish it in time for book club, because I also have grocery shopping to do tomorrow and meal prepping to do, and I have to go to the dollar store tomorrow. And when I run errands and usually when I cook, I tend to listen to audiobooks. So yeah, that's what's happening. I am going to go home now. I don't know how the audio came out for this clip because I have the heat on because it's cold. It's like a biting cold too. It was really windy, and it kind of like, it wasn't a far walk from the building to my car, but it got to me. It like got to my core really quickly. And I think part of it's I wasn't wearing the thickest jacket, but like my hands and everything, it just like, it got to your bones. So yeah, that's an update. That's my thought on the event. I should have included like a little clip, I hope. Editing Christina, please remember to do that. But I will check in later when I have some reading updates, which I do have a little bit of, but not a lot. Hopefully I'll have a little bit more when I get home. So I'll talk to you guys then. Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday. I didn't really update when I got home last night. Came home, I read a little bit, I made dinner, and then my husband and I watched Avatar. We will finish Wednesday, which is good because the show comes out Thursday. But in the meantime, I wanted to talk about The 7-Year Slip, which I finished. So, 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, or Poston. Poston? I've heard Poston. I'm gonna go with that. I loved this book. I thought it was so much fun. There was a little bit of a plot twist. There wasn't really a third act breakup, which I definitely liked. I don't really like third act breakups, especially because they tend to be the miscommunication trope. And does anybody like the miscommunication trope? I don't think I've ever seen someone go, man, that book, that miscommunication trope was the best. It was so cute. It was so sweet. It was a little unrealistic in the end with the changes that somebody made about something. But overall, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was so sweet, so cute, so well done with that little magical element. It really focused on being true to yourself and honoring who you are as a person. It dealt with grief. It dealt with mental illness. It dealt with a lot in a very upbeat and positive way. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars, and this is an author I will be keeping an eye out for in the future for her future books. Now, what's the plan today? Since I had that Kate Quinn thing yesterday and I had to leave really early, I made my to-do list for yesterday very, very short and kind of dumped everything onto today. So, what do I have to do today? I have a few things to do. First and foremost, I need to catch up on my little 1 line a day daily journal. I got this for Christmas in 2022, and I started it 2023, and I stopped recording in here, and I was like recording a bunch on my phone, and I still have those, but then I like stopped doing that too. And instead of having like a bunch of blank dates in it, there's like a thing that has like dates to remember. I think I'm gonna make a pocket here on the front, just with some red line tape and scrapbook paper scrap, it's not that big, and print out all of that and stick it in. and then I just started again, because by the time I was like, I really need to get back into this, it was literally a year from the day since when I had last written in this, so I took that as a sign. So I've been putting that on my habit tracker as something to do. Sometimes I'll do it like the next morning. It helps to keep it like on the coffee table because that's where my laptop is too. So I kind of sit down, get on my laptop in the morning, take care of stuff, like look at my to-do list for the day and journal. It's very short. Like I just opened, it's literally one line and it says 20 and then a blank and you put the date in. If you're looking for a great stocking stuffer gift, I know it's February, but this is great. It's like $5-10 and it's nice and tiny and has very nice shiny edges. So I need to do that. I also need to, I have my to-do list right here. I need to type some book reviews for Bookstagram. I need to order my friend's birthday present. I need to work on my curriculum for the week. Let's see, what else do I need to do? I posted a bunch of stuff to our Buy Nothing group, and it's kind of sitting in a big bin in our garage, so I need to pick people for that and reach out to them, tell them to come get their stuff, and then take all the stuff, bag it up, and then I have a bin on my front porch, and I just kind of put it in there and tell them, come whenever you want, and that way I don't have to remember, okay, Bob is coming at, Thursday at 3, and Allison's coming Wednesday at 1, and all of that. They can just come as they need to. What else? I need to finish posting Instagram stuff about the 7-year slip for Disney Lovers Readathon. So that needs to get done. I want to finish the Marriage Act. I have about 100 pages left. And of course, a top priority is starting Phoenix Crown. I love the shininess of this cover. I want to get about 120 pages left in 120 pages in this book. It is 358 pages, so that would put me on track to finish it in 3 days. So this needs to be started. I also need to go to the dollar store, to Lidl, and meal prep for my husband. So it is a very, very, very busy day. I have a lot going on, and I am going to start. I think I'm just going to start at the top of the to-do list, skip over the errand running for now because I don't think Dollar Tree, it's only 8:11. Is it 8:11? Yes. So Dollar Tree's not open yet. So I'm going to do everything else. So yeah, I'm going to start at the top of the to-do list and keep going till I hit the bottom. I think that is the best way to tackle a to-do list of this magnitude. All right, I haven't really moved, but I swear I've done a lot. First, this is bothering me. This is my husband's book for work. 6 Types of Working Genius. Anyway, I have done a lot. I have, what did I do? I wrote 2 book reviews I wrote one for Let Me Hear a Rhyme by Tiffany D. Jackson and The House of Eve by Sadeka Johnson. I really hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I ordered my friend's birthday present. I went through, I'm just going to kind of do this so you can kind of see. This is my curriculum plan. The sticky notes kind of took up everything. So I have 2 lessons a day for the 3 days, and I tried to do it thematically and kind of go with, this is a class, like I said, where you're learning how to get a job. And so this is kind of foundational stuff. It is 9:02, so my husband wanted me to wake him up. But yeah, I'm feeling really productive right now. I do want to take a picture of A Torch Against the Night, which I have right here, and post my review to Instagram. To do that, Dollar Tree is open. It opens at 8, so I think once I get my husband up, I'm going to put on, not pajama pants, I'm going to put on leggings and go to Lidl and the dollar store. And then I don't even know what I'm meal prepping for my husband this week. That's important. Let's do that before I go wake him up. I'm going to do that. And I'll probably check in with you after Dollar Tree and give you a little bit of a haul. We are in the car and I'm going to do a quick Dollar Tree haul. I wanted to get like some props and accessories to use for like Bookstagram photos. So I'm not sure if I'm entirely thrilled with what I got, but we'll see. First, I got like this decorative rope. I don't know if it's like one big loop. Oh no, it does have an end here. I thought that would be nice for like draping and stuff. I have chips because I was hungry and I love these chips, and my husband doesn't really like vinegar. So yeah, I got sunglasses because I need them, and I'm just gonna put them on. Now, I always get my sunglasses from Dollar Tree because I have a habit of losing them. So I feel like if I get them from the dollar store, I'm not as like emotionally invested in the fact that they've been missing. I got this really cute, he's a little chip right there, but I have white paint at home. Little gnome. I love gnomes. A card for my neighbor's granddaughter's birthday. I got two. I got like this white branch. I wanted something that would like look nice laid flat, like you didn't need to, and a lot of flowers, it's hard. And this like branch of leaves. And then finally I got this string of beads here, and then this circlet of little wooden beads. Also, I'm trying to decide if I want to do a reading update here or at home. Let's do it here first. I was gonna have some chips, but I'm not. Nickel and dimed. This woman is so pretentious. She's talking about how like, she's like, oh, I don't want to go, you know, find a job in this area because I don't want all of the Latinos and Hispanics to take all the crap jobs. Like, that's literally what she said. And then at one point she was wearing like her maid's uniform, her housekeeping uniform, and she's like, people ignore me all the time now, and I wonder if this is what it's like to be black. And just like really, really not okay stuff. And she's not really giving it like a good effort. Like I've said before, there's no like urgency to, you know, she's like, oh, I'm not making enough, my ends meet, that's okay, I'm gonna try. But like it just seems very half-hearted. And then like she knows that she's doing these jobs that will drug test her, and she still smokes pot, and then has to spend like $40 on stuff to flush that all out of her system so she can pass a drug test. And I'm like, you don't really seem to be grasping the situation that you're trying to replicate and doing a good job of it. I don't like this book. At first I was thinking it's going to be a 2-star, but it might be a 1-star now. I am going to finish it though, because it is for book club and it is a pretty quick read. I'm able to listen to it at like a 2.4 speed, which is pretty fast. So I'm going to go home now. I haven't done any reading today. I'm going to go home, put the groceries in the trunk away, put all of this away, take some bookstagram photos, and get some reading done. Wild concept. I'm gonna go read a book. I finished The Marriage Act. I also have mulled wine. But anyway, I finished The Marriage Act. I gave it 4.5 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It set the stage for a lot of different things that I'm very intrigued about. So the next John Marrs book comes out June 18th, and it is called The Family Experiment. I'm looking over here because I have it up on my laptop. And the synopsis says it's in the same universe, I think. Yes, set in the same universe as John Marrs' best-selling novel, The One and The Marriage Act. So it says some families are virtually perfect. The world's population is soaring, creating overcrowded cities and an economic crisis. In the UK, the breaking point has arrived. A growing number of people can no longer afford to start families, let alone raise them. I swear I've been trying to read this blurb forever, and Willow is freaking out, so we're gonna have her with us. But for those desperate to experience parenthood, there's an alternative. For a monthly subscription fee, clients can create a virtual child from scratch who they can access via the metaverse and a VR headset. To launch this new initiative, the company behind Virtual Children has created a reality TV show called The Substitute. We'll follow 10 couples as they raise a virtual child from birth to the age of 19, but in a condensed 9-month period. The prize, the right to keep their virtual child or risk it all for the chance of a real baby. So it sounds really good. Also, the ending kind of alluded to some stuff jumping the pond, coming over to America, because these are books set in England, and dealing with the education system, and I'm really interested and fascinated with that. It definitely gave me kind of vibes of Masterclass by Christina Dalcher, which is one of my favorite books. Overall, I gave it 4.5 stars. I loved it. I thought it was great. It was not as fast-paced as The Passengers, which also exists in this universe, but it is, thank you, Willow, definitely an intense book to read. So, oh God, Willow, I'm gonna put her down, see if that helps. It's 2:45 right now. I have to pick people for Buy Nothing, so I need to definitely do that because I just want this stuff out of my house. And this is usually what I do is I'll like read for a little while, then do something productive, then read, then productive, then read, then productive. So I think I'm going to do the productive stuff, to take Bookstagram photos, because I still haven't done that. Torch Against the Night is sitting right here. Haven't taken my Bookstagram photo. I don't know how I want to like place it, like how I want it to look. Maybe I'll put it in front of my sword, like kind of with the sword. I have an idea now. Okay, I'm gonna go do that before I forget my idea. So I'm gonna do that, pick people for Buy Nothing, enjoy my deliciously mulled wine, and then I'm gonna start the Phoenix Crown because I really want to start that because it just sounds amazing. And I'm in a historical fiction mood right now, and I have been since the beginning of the year. I've been reading a lot of historical fiction, a lot of nonfiction too. If I pull up, I'm gonna pull up my my stats on Storygraph. I've read 7 nonfiction books this year so far, which is absolutely bonkers. And I'm reading one right now. So I read The Woman in Me. I read Murder in the Family. Member of the Family, and it's about the Manson family. The Little Book of Huga, The Imagineering Story, the official biography of the Walt Disney Imagineering, Koresh, the true story of David Koresh and the tragedy at Waco, Sloane and Woods 9, Waypoints, My Scottish Journey. And most of them, except for Britney Spears, have been 4 stars or higher, which is pretty awesome too. And in terms of historical fiction, that's my most read genre so far this year, 10, which is a lot. And then I have a few more that I still want to read. So, I'm going to drink my wine, I'm going to take the Bookstagram photo, I'm going to pick people for Buy Nothing, and then I'm going to start the Phoenix Crown. It is quite a while later, and the lighting in here is terrible, but I am in bed, and I am too lazy to turn on the overhead light, so we're just going to deal. I started 2 new books because I'm apparently crazy. The first new book should come as no surprise to anybody, and that is The Phoenix Crown. I am 63 pages in, and it's very foundational right now, just kind of setting the stage, introducing the characters, all of that stuff. One thing I do like is it kind of gives this countdown. So let me try to find it. So like it'll say, here, found it. Like the book starts 13 days, 14 hours, 52 minutes before the San Francisco earthquake. So you kind of have this countdown, and I think like the first half of the book is the countdown, and the second half is the earthquake and everything that happens after the fact. So far, I really like it. I know that Kate Quinn wrote all of Gemma's scenes. I know that Janie Chang wrote all of Su Ling's scene chapters, but they flow perfectly. Like you can't really tell. If you had blindly handed this to someone, they didn't know it was written by 2 authors, you would never know. The second book I started is called Forager by Michelle Dowd, and the subtitle says Field Notes for Surviving a Family Cult, and it's about a woman. It's her memoir of surviving in like a family doomsday prophecy type of fundamentalist religion or cult, and it's a family cult, which I think are often very much overlooked. Family cults, as the name implies, it's usually just the family. Think like Westboro Baptist Church type of thing, where it's a very, very, very small group. It could even be one other person. There are cults where it's literally one other person or a small family. I think family cults are really interesting because they're such a small group, and it can be, like I said, just 2 people, 3 people. That's all it takes. And this woman, Michelle's living in California, like up on the mountains. Think almost like Educated. If you've read Educated, think of this like Educated, which I was not the biggest fan of. I think it was just really overhyped, and that's why. But think Educated, but with Christian fundamentalism. And that's the vibe I'm getting. I'm only, how far am I? 60 pages into this. So I'm about the same amount of pages in to both of these. I'm still getting a vibe, like, she kind of just throws you in, and you are trying to figure out, like, the language and everything, and it feels, like, kind of scattered and jumps around a lot. I'm hoping it gets better. Right now, I'm not going to say what I think it's going to be, but I'm definitely going to finish it in this vlog, we hope. I feel like those are famous words, but it's only 280 some pages, so that's not very long, and then this is 360 pages, so I can definitely finish both of these. I didn't listen to any more of Nickeled and Dimed after running errands because it just frustrated me. She frustrates me. I get frustrated with this book. I'm determined to finish it, but I am very much not enjoying it. I might actually DNF it. I don't want to, but life's too short to read bad books. That's what my mom always says. Life's too short to read bad books. So if it's making me this angry, I might DNF Nickeled and Dimed. I'm not entirely sure. But it's like 9:45. I'm going to try to get some reading done. I'm going to watch some TV, have just this background noise, and do some reading. But I'll probably check in with you guys in the morning. Good morning. It is Monday. My arm is killing me. Like I said yesterday, I fell and I might have messed it up. I took some Tylenol last night, took some ibuprofen this morning. I might put a heating pad on it. Reading update. Did not get a lot of reading done. We watched Avatar. We ate dinner, watched Avatar. Then I went upstairs and actually found a new cult show on Hulu. It's an hour-and-a-half special about the FLDS. It's called, I have it on my TV right now, The Doomsday Prophet, Truth and Lies. And it's talking about Warren Jeffs and the FLDS. And apparently he has issued a prophecy that in the next 5 years, all of the FLDS children will be ascended to heaven or called to heaven or whatever. But that means that they must be no longer alive. So this has been revealed and outsiders are freaking out. They're like, are we going to have like a Waco thing? Are we going to have like a Jonestown thing? What's going on? And this is right now just a lot of background, and there's only 23 minutes left, so I don't know if there's going to be like a part 2 that goes into a little bit more. I don't know. Plans for today. I am going to get some reading done on Forager and Phoenix Crown. I have prep work to do for tomorrow because today is my last day of not working, which is crazy. Normally, like the last day of summer vacation, I would be all like anxious. I have to squeeze it all in, get it all done. I don't feel that way. Like I have to like eke out that last little bit of freedom. I am, first of all, absolutely ready to go back. Second of all, I'll be working from home. The hours are very short, very flexible. I'm not at all worried. Sorry about that. We had to pause for a second. I had someone picking up stuff from Buy Nothing. I do think I want to get into like my Buy Nothing and how I kind of organize all of that a little bit today and kind of show that system that I have in place to you guys. But I also have prep work to do for tomorrow. I don't even remember what I was saying before I got interrupted by Willow. And my boss wants to meet this afternoon on Zoom just really quickly to go over everything, any last minute questions, stuff like that. So I have to get ready for that. That's not for a while though. I do want to do some straightening up. And I've also decided that I need to get my office under control. If I'm working from home, I need it under control, but also I really want to use it. Right now, the dining room table is covered in craft supplies. I have a basket of craft supplies on the floor right here, and my office is purely decorative, and I kind of just pass through it. So I think what I'm going to do is do a video where I just show you my great shame and spend like 2 days really buckling down, getting it cleaned out, probably Friday and Saturday, because Friday my husband's at work all day. I only have a doctor's appointment in the morning, and then I have to go to pick up some stuff from Sam's Club probably. Saturday, my husband is most likely, hopefully, going to a friend's all day to do board game stuff. I don't know. They drink beer, they eat junk food. He's out of my hair for the day. Actually, I don't mind at all. He's never in my hair, but I love that he goes and hangs out with his friends that he's had been friends with since he was like 5. It's really quite impressive. So I think I'll do a video on that, kind of showing you my great shame, but I think I want to go downstairs and front load a little bit by looking especially at my cart, my craft cart, going through it and seeing what I want ordered to kind of organize that a little bit, make it something more utilitarian instead of decorative, and then order other supplies, organizing supplies as well, and kind of go through that. But that'll be another video, maybe, question mark. Right now though, I'm going to do that, do some reading, then I'll pop back on and kind of go through my buy nothing process and how I have decided to organize all of that. All right, we are in my great shame, which is my craft room. You can see it's pretty chaotic. And I was just coming down to like look at my cart. I got a bunch of stuff off the cart, put it in the bin for buy nothing, which I'm gonna go over in a little bit, and that was the plan. And then I got an idea and I got super excited, and I was like, I need to come down here right away, immediately, see if this works. So let me show you the idea. I think it's gonna work. I'm so excited. And don't judge me on how bad the craft room looks, because you can barely walk on the floor. It's so bad, and I just get so overwhelmed that I don't even come down here. My husband and I spent a weekend down here. He gave up a lot of his time, and it just got bad all over again because I started a bunch of projects at once and didn't actually finish anything. But let me show you what my idea is. So one of the problems I have is I have this bin right here. It's a fabric container, and it's for all of my letter stickers for scrapbooking. And as you can see, a lot of them are quite tall. Therefore, they don't fit in the shelf I have. This is the shelf, and you can see everything else is nice, fairly organized, looking pretty, but that bin, it used to sit on the top, but now I have my giraffes on the top. It used to sit down there under the printer, but I didn't like that. But then I came up with an idea. I have this drawer, and I used it at first. It doesn't have a bottom. You can see, there's my foot. And it has the hanging folders, and I was using it when I journaled, and I have the paper scraps organized by color. And then I realized I can just take my stickers, and they fit. You can fold down this little flappy if you need, and I can organize them, the alphabet stickers by color, right in here. They are out of my way, they are out of sight, but they are perfectly organized, and I'm using this drawer that I don't really use anymore. So I'm calling this a win. I'm going to do this now because I'm feeling motivated to, and I think I want to strike while the iron is hot and take care of this now. Then I'm going to do some reading, and then I'm going to show you my buy nothing stuff. So this is the final product. These are a pain to move back and forth, so that is something I'm going to have to learn to deal with. Or I wonder if this will just get worn down over time and become smoother. But I have it just in rainbow order, so like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, all the way back. Pink, black, and gray, and then I have white and a separate one in silver, and then like multicolored over here. My Doodlebug brand ones don't quite fit, so I think I'm either going to put them in this drawer here, because I use them a lot. Like, you can tell I have multiple sheets of like the same thing, and I use them a lot. I really like these ones because they're small, and there's 3 different ones, although the rounds are like my least favorite. So I might put them up here because I know I'll definitely use them. So I think I'm going to do that, even though this drawer has stuff. Okay, I need to explain the toilet paper. I use it for blending when I color. I put a little bit of chapstick on it. Like, I buy cheap dollar store chapstick, and I don't use it on my lips at all. I use it to blend when I color. So I have that there. And then this is my cousin broke this when we moved the desk into my house, because this desk was at my parents' house. It's like 25 years old or something, but I liked it. It was free, so I took it, and I love it. So yeah, I feel like that was a lot of work just to, to empty one basket, but I'm hoping that'll work. Oh, I also have these books, these like sticker books. I don't know where I'm going to put those yet either. But yeah, that is the final product. I'm really out of breath because it was like sliding those folders back and forth was not fun. I am going to go read though. It's like 10 o'clock, I think. So I definitely want to get reading done. I also want to order supplies for my, I'm gonna say my book cart. Book cart's upstairs and organized, for my craft cart, like organizing stuff. I found a cute little caddy that I like a lot more than what I have on there for like colored pencils and stuff. And then I can take like this. I use these to journal when I scrapbook. And then I have this one here, and it has a hole punch. It has these watercolor pen brushes, just regular pencils and pens and stuff. And just put all of that on the cart and just get all of that organized. And I don't know what else I want to keep on the cart. I have to figure that out. Yeah, I think I'm gonna spend a little bit more time actually down here figuring out life, and then do some reading because I haven't read at all today. I promise you this will be the last craft room office organizing update for today, because I really did intend to do like a video dedicated to that, but like I'm such a mood person with like pretty much my life, so when the mood strikes I just kind of go with it for a little while. But let me show you what else I did. First, I put up 2 more of these organizers for my inks. I left one, use my finger, one open on the bottom of each one so that I could put more in. I have to label these 2. My scissors are upstairs. So now I have 4 of these total. And I kind of decorated a little bit. I have to be careful. I have a picture of my husband like right below here, and he doesn't want to be seen on YouTube, which is fine. This little area had been full of embossing powder, so I took that and put that somewhere else. And then you can see I have plenty of room for more inks if I so desire. This is still a bit of a mess. I have to go through all my washi tape, that's like a fraction of it, and kind of go through it and organize it a little bit more and get rid of a bunch. The other thing I did was organize this drawer a little more. Here are all of my embossing powders. Then I have my red line tape that I use for when I do my dailies in December and October. Here I have ink to re-ink specific, what color is this? Vintage Photo Oxide. I have these come free sometimes with a scrapbook.com order. So I have mint, I have a sparkly purple, and then this one I really like. It's clear. It just adds like a little bit of something. And then I have these little sprinkles. I have here just like miscellaneous stuff. I want to put this somewhere else. Back here is hot glue gun glue. Then these are the labels for those oxides. Wax seal kit, a different type of blade, a deep point blade for my Cricut, which I've obviously never used, and a hole punch. Then I have some over here. This used to have like these little cubbies on them, little cups, but I have these bigger ones now. I'm gonna order a caddy, like a clear, like shower caddy almost type of thing, to go here for colored pencils. Here I have taller notepads, smaller notepads, stickers, regular size sticky notes, and small sticky notes. And then I have over here some, right here, some smaller sticky notes as well that just don't fit. But I think that's about it for now. Let me flip you around. I think that's about it for right now. I really am going to go read now because this really took a lot out of me. I do have a bunch of stuff to put to Buy Nothing, including all of the paper that had been where the alphabet stickers are. I'm going to take that and just put it as like a big bunch on Buy Nothing and be like, if anybody junk journals or collages or anything, take the whole lot. I want it all gone. You got to take it all. That is the plan. I'm sorry I haven't done any reading so far today, but I've been really productive, even if it's stuff that I didn't have on my to-do list. So I'm going to actually add work on cleaning office for an hour onto my to-do list, just so I can check that box off. Let's make some brownies for book club and talk books, because that is what you are here for. All right, we are back. So I read 55 pages of, I wanted to say the Rose Code, which is not it, Phoenix Crown. And we are getting closer and closer and closer to the actual earthquake. There's, it's like the day before, 2 days before, I think it's 2 days before the earthquake, and things are kind of, they jumped ahead a little bit, and I wasn't expecting it. There's a plot twist that I don't really know how to process, because I'm not really sure what it means, but, you know, we're gonna go with the flow. I'm sure that it will all be explained in time. But you have Su Ling and Gemma, who are the main characters, interacting a little bit more. Gemma has become this one guy's mistress, and Su Ling is working for him, fixing this robe, this gorgeous embroidered robe. And so they're kind of interacting a little bit, and it's through these interactions that they find out that they have another connection that they did not expect. And I'm very interested by it. The cast, so Gemma performs for the Met, for the Metropolitan Opera. Sorry, one moment. Okay. I forgot this is a glass and I have to adjust. I have to adjust the temperature, I think. I don't know, we're gonna wing it. I'll check that after I finish with my update to you guys. And the Metropolitan Opera House is performing Carmen. And this was like the performance of the season, and it was done the night before the earthquake. The male lead, I never know, so Carmen has two male leads because it's like a love triangle. So when they say male lead, which one do they mean? I don't remember the characters' names besides Carmen. But there's the bullfighter, but then there's also the other guy. He's a soldier? Is he a soldier? I'm going to say he's a soldier. So the opera, the Metropolitan Opera was performing, and the male lead was offered to go perform in Naples, in Italy, and he opted to go to San Francisco instead because he felt like there's an activity in Vesuvius, and he was afraid that it was going to erupt. Ironically, he was instead in San Francisco for the earthquake and the fires, which I think is just hilarious. And I learned that at the event that I went to, at the author event. So we're getting really, really close. I think the book's going to pick up the pace, and it took a while to establish some stuff, but now I'm really getting into it and very, very much enjoying it. I have read Nothing a Forager. I'm going to read that next after I get these in the oven. And I ordered some organizational stuff and kind of work from home stuff for my desk. They come on Thursday. So I think Friday and Saturday I will be doing a See My Ultimate Shame vlog and try to get the craft room under control and maybe do a little bit of crafting down there as well, and really try to make it a space that I enjoy being in and can really, really come to love. We're gonna try this again. I started filming. Willow decided that she wanted to eat breakfast or last night's dinner or whatever, but she had to eat it in here with me because that makes sense. And then right as I'm talking about that, the Roomba started going for the day. So it's been fun. Anyway, I am trying something new, and that is tea. I drank English breakfast tea pretty much daily when I lived in England and when I was student teaching, but it is caffeinated, and you can get uncaffeinated. I think I might get a box of that. I don't drink any caffeine at all, and I drink a lot of water, and I drink a lot of orange seltzer. I wanted to try, oh, there's Willow. Hi, Willow. I wanted to try some tea, so I got this a few weeks ago from the grocery store. It is Twinings Tea, which is like the tea company, and especially in England. It's Immune Support Plus. It's blackberry flavored with hibiscus elderberry herbal tea, and it is caffeine free. So I thought I'd give it a shot. I have a lot of things right here. One sec. I have a snack. I have that's Skinny Pop. Boom Chicka Pop. I like their kettle corn because it actually tastes like legit kettle corn. But I steeped some tea. I brewed some tea. I have my Belle mug, and I thought that I would give you a live, unfiltered reaction. It's probably gonna be really hot. It smells pretty good. I think I'd rather a little sweeter smell. Let's see how it tastes. It's not bad. Not bad, okay. Okay. I could get used to drinking that. I'm not like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. I wonder if some honey would be good in it. Or like some lemon juice. I don't think lemon juice, but maybe a tiny dab of honey would be good in it. I think I'm going to drink this one just as it is and try it again tomorrow maybe, but with honey to see if I like that more. And then I'm going to actually be using the mugs that I keep buying, and my husband keeps saying, stop buying mugs, you don't use them, you don't drink coffee. But now if I drink tea, I'll be using a mug more often. Reading update wise, I am on page, that's Phoenix Crown. I didn't do much reading for that. I did read to page 118 of Forager. It's okay. I think that the book is just, it lacks something. It's just kind of bleh, everyday life type of thing, but not. I feel like it's not fleshed out enough, and it's just leaving me desiring more. I am going to continue though, because like I said, it is pretty short, and I'm hoping that it will pick up. I'm going to read about 30 more pages of this, and then I'm going to switch over to the Phoenix Crown and really bang out a big chunk of that book. We are back in the kitchen. My husband is on his way home from work, and I am making dinner. I'm making salsa matcha chicken and rice bowls. And it's a new HelloFresh, at least to us. So it sounds pretty good. I did do some reading of Phoenix Crown, and things are really picking up. We're about 5 hours to the earthquake, and lots of drama is happening. It's taken some turns, words are hard, that I did not expect. Sorry, I keep looking down because I'm cooking. And I am not the best at cooking and not looking at what I'm doing. So, it took some turns I did not expect. First, we have Su Ling and Gemma, and they have found that they have a mutual friend or two, and things are not as they appear, and they're trying to figure out what exactly is going on, which is quite exciting. It's having this countdown thing. It kind of reminds me of like when I read, it was a book about the Titanic, and I can't remember the book, Million something, by Adiba Jagradar. Like in my head I pronounced the name correctly. She's a Pakistani, Bengali Irish author who's just fabulous. She wrote The Henna Wars. She wrote Honey and Issue's Guide to Fake Dating. How could I forget that one? That one's like my favorite of her books. I love fake dating. I was literally just texting my friend about that and how much I love fake dating. Anyway, she did one on the Titanic, and then I also read Stacey Lee's Luck on the Titanic, I believe it was called. And it's really interesting when you read a book about the Titanic or even watch the movie Titanic, because you have this tension building up because you know what's going to happen, and the characters obviously don't know what's going to happen, and so then they're going about their day-to-day lives not knowing that this cataclysmic event is going to happen. It's very similar. I have another Kate Quinn book called The Day of Fire, which is about Pompeii. I haven't read it yet, but it's on my list for the year, because I want to work through her backlist. And it's, again, you know that this big cataclysmic event is going to happen, and there's not much you can do about it but sit back and not really enjoy the ride, but watch as it happens. So you have Gemma and Su Ling, who are trying to figure out what happened to this mutual friend of theirs, and then they're finding out some other information, and I don't really want to spoil it, so I'm not going to go into detail about it because I think you should definitely read the book. It's amazing. And on top of all of that, you have this queer element that I was not expecting, and I am 100% here for it. I think it's a great addition. Does not feel forced at all, and I love it. I love it. One thing I really like about Gemma, so you have this guy, Henry Thornton, and he's kind of agreed to become her patron because she is an opera singer and she suffers from extreme migraines. And people are like, it's just a headache, get over it. It's just a headache. You know, you're being a woman, you're being so difficult. And she has these extreme crippling migraines, and because of them, she has not been promoted to a lead singer because she is not considered reliable. But he gets her the second female lead in Carmen. It's, oh my God, I just read it. I don't remember. My memory's garbage. And so people are like, you know, this is what you did. You stole this role out, because she said, I've had roles stolen out from under me. I want that. I want that. I want to steal a role out from under somebody. And then when she does it, then when Henry sets it up, she realizes like, oh no, wait, I'm actually like a decent person, and that was a dick move. And she's realizing that Henry is perhaps not the nicest person. But he's told her that. He's like, I am not a nice person at all. You know, I want you to sing for my private party, and, you know, this is what I'm going to pay you. He goes, I want you to demand more money. And she's like, what? He's like, no, demand more money. And she goes, triple what you're going to pay, the amount that you said. He's like, that's my girl, and pays her that amount. So, like, he admits that he's not a good guy, but still, like, he might be even worse than we thought in the beginning. And he gets her this role, and she's realizing this is not how I wanted to make a name for myself. I wanted to make a name for myself on my own, not on me stealing a role out from under a woman who I'm sure is perfectly delightful and nice. So that's pretty much it. It's about 5 hours to the earthquake. So things are moving very fast. I'm very excited. I am hoping to finish this. I was going to finish Nickel and Dime too. I think I'm going to DNF that one. And I want to finish Forager, but I don't really have an update on that one yet. I will come back at you in a little bit after we've eaten dinner, watched Avatar, and tell you a little bit more about what I've read. Good morning. It is quite a few days later. I ended up not vlogging on Tuesday, which was my first day of work. It went good. There were some technical glitches. I was physically exhausted, emotionally, mentally, and I just did not vlog. I have started a new vlog since then on tackling my Great Chain, which is my craft room / office. That's going really well. I'm hoping to finish that one up in the next few days and get that one up as well. In the meantime, I have all 4 of the books I read. They are right here. They are quite lovely. Let's talk about them. First, The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Keep doing that. I gave this book 4.5 stars. I loved it. I loved the romance. I loved that slight fantasy element with the time travel. I liked the message of being true to yourself, and also how it dealt with grief. I especially love the time travel aspect, but you're seeing them both interacting in the past, and in the present, and how the characters are changed and how they're different. And then there's also some connections between them that they didn't realize that were there. And I very much liked that plot twist as well. Next I have The Marriage Act by John Marrs. I also gave this 4.5 stars. I thought the twists were absolutely phenomenal. I thought the world building was great. I thought all of the characters were uniquely developed and each had their own different point of view on the Sanctity of Marriage Act and how it was impacting their lives. I loved the mixed media element as well, and the fact that this book exists in the same world as The Passengers and The One. It has set the stage for future books, and I'm excited to see that and see where it goes. the end opened up a bunch of doors to new possibilities as well that I think would be very interesting if John Marrs chooses to go that route. I also finished The Phoenix Crown by Kate Quinn and Jeannie Chang. This was the book where I went to that book event for. I love the cover with that nice metallic element. I gave this book 4.5 stars. So we had some great books, and then not so great books. I thought that the setting of the San Francisco earthquake was great. It's something that is so famous and so well known, but is not something that's fully explored. Since it is set during that time period, you have the Gilded Era, which is just a fun era. I've been dying for books set in that time period. It deals with racism, it deals with queer identity, it deals with rebuilding, it deals with being true to yourself, and it covers a very traumatic historic event and incorporates some real life figures who are really kind of badass. And Kate Quinn and Jeannie Chang kind of talked about why certain characters weren't included, and characters they wanted to include but just couldn't make work. I thought that the ending was a tiny bit rushed, but overall, I, as you can tell, thoroughly enjoyed it. I feel like I should also mention right now, I DNF'd Nickel and Dime. I found the author to be pretentious, full of herself, and not really taking the social experiment that she was doing seriously. So I DNF'd it. I have no regrets. Nobody in book club really enjoyed it or enjoyed her. Finally, we have Forager by Michelle Dowd. I gave this book 2 stars. The only reason I didn't give it 1 star was because I didn't actively hate it. It wasn't making me angry. Like Nickel and Dimed, had I finished it, I probably would have given it 1 star. Forager, I gave 2 simply because it did not make me hate it. However, I did find the writing and the plot development to be lacking. I thought that it was a lot of tell, don't show, which is something I don't like. And when I read a cult book, I'm really trying to figure out what the cult believes in. And I felt like that was something that was never really fully fleshed out. Everything in this book, it just felt very stream of consciousness and like it wasn't fully thought out. On top of that, and this is something that I don't say lightly, and I want to make that very clear, I have doubts about the validity of this story. And let me explain why. This is not something I take lightly, especially because this is a person, if it is true, then she went through a very traumatic childhood, and that is why I am very hesitant to say that. But I looked at some other reviews online, and some people were saying, oh, the only person who ever has come out and said anything negative about this family cult is her. And instead of taking these people and their reviews at face value, I decided to do a little bit of my own research. Sure enough, Michelle Dowd is the only person who is saying anything about this cult, and nobody's ever mentioned it. And you might be saying to yourself, well, it's a family cult. It's very, very small. Yes, that is true. However, the grandfather ran a reform program type of thing for teenage boys, and that's where he recruited a lot and got a lot of his cult members from. So there should be something about this program, something. But there isn't. Nothing, not a single mention. And so then, you step back and you go, well, it was the 80s. They didn't have the internet. Maybe there's no records. Okay, I took it a step further. In 2006, legal action was brought against this program and its leaders for covering up child SA. Okay, this is 2006. This is legal stuff. There should be records of that. You would expect some sort of record and probably some newspaper articles. Still nothing. Absolutely nothing. Complete crickets. I'm talking not even, I was on Reddit. I was on the internet. I was looking everywhere. I even went to Reddit just to make sure that, someone else wasn't mentioning it there and I was missing it. Absolutely nothing. And that was probably the biggest red flag for me. And I was talking it through with my best friend because I wanted her to kind of be the devil's advocate in arguing against everything I was saying. And when I presented all of this to her, she's like, yeah, that doesn't sound very good. That's definitely a red flag. So on top of the poor writing, the not fleshed out plot and storyline, the fact that I can't believe if this is true is a big red flag for me, and that is why I rated this 2 stars. And the only reason I didn't rate it 1 star is because I didn't actively hate it. So overall, I think it was a very good reading time. I read 3 4.5 stars, 1 2 star, and 1 DNF, which is not too bad. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. All of that is down below. All of my links are down below. I should have a new video coming out soon of me tackling my craft room, getting it under control, showing you the stuff I used, and I'm really proud of how it's coming along so far. So I think it's definitely, if that's something you're interested in, if you want to get your home office under control, or if you just need that inspiration, that's a video that will definitely help. And then I have another video planned after that. I'm hoping that I'm going to get back into the swing of things. I think I have found a system that works for my clips, and I'm going to I've started editing this video, but I'm going to keep editing it, and I will see you soon. So yeah, thanks for joining, and I'll see you next time. Bye.